Senator Rennick.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. And after almost 2 years in government, the Labor Party has finally decided to do something about the cost of living. And what a pathetic attempt it is. An $800 increase from what was originally legislated for middle-income Australia. But here's the rub. Here's the rub. While the Labor Party procrastinated for the first 2 years, indulging in identity politics with the Voice, wasting $450 million there, the cost of living per person, not per household, rose by $8,000. They are not even giving back bracket creep. The legislated changes we made came in 2019. Labor has had 2 years to do something about this as a result of their inability to control inflation. And here's the thing. That $800 a year, which works out at about $15 to $16 a week, it won't cover the cost of energy. It won't cover the interest rate rises. And even today, the RBA governor has come out and said that she can't guarantee there won't be any more interest rate increases. And why is that? Because she knows that she can't trust the Albanese Labor government to control the cost of living. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a Hobson's choice. This is basically trying to deflect from the fact that the Labor Party can't control the cost of living. And if they were really serious about dealing with the cost of living, they would have given more generous tax cuts. They would have increased the tax cuts from when we legislated them back in 2019. But what they've done is they've divided and conquered, which is the only thing they know how to do. These guys love to play the politics of envy. They love to play the politics of envy. If they're not trying to divide the country between black people and white people, they're now trying to divide the country between rich people and poor people. Well, let me tell you something. Okay, those tax cuts may kick in on the 1st of July this year, but because that 37 tax bracket is still in place, that means that everyone going forward on $135,000, so if you're below that level, you will be now, once you get your pay rise, and let's not forget that inflation's running at 5%, so give this a couple of more years and people on $120,000 will be going into the 37 tax bracket. And these people are nurses and teachers, by the way. Up in Queensland we've got actually a policing shortage up in Queensland, so we've got a lot of police officers working overtime. These guys are going to be paying 37 cents in the dollar. And of course what will that do is actually add to inflation. Why? Because people won't want to work extra hours. And of course this is some of the rubbish that's sprouted by Treasury, that somehow a tax cut's going to cause inflation. Who do they think actually supplies the goods and services in this country? It's actually the workers. So let's cut taxes further. And I'll pick up on Senator Walsh's comments that we don't know what to do. I know exactly what to do, Senator Walsh. I've got a master's in tax. I've got a master's in finance as well. That's the whole reason why I actually ran for politics, is to reform the Tax Act. And I well remembered when I was a Senate candidate and I said that we should raise the withholding taxes on profits offshore. I was criticised by none other than the current Treasurer. Apparently increasing the rate of tax on withholding taxes on profits sent offshore by foreign multinational companies is a bad thing. I've been recommending that for years. I've been recommending the abolition of Section 855 that actually gives foreigners a capital gains tax break on non-portfolio interests. I recommend the abolition of Section 880 of the Income Tax Act that says that foreign wealth funds shouldn't be able to pay tax. I recommend the abolition of Section 2590 that says Australian companies, when they invest offshore, shouldn't be able to get a tax deduction on the interest they pay on their investments offshore. I've come out and said that Aboriginal land councils should start paying tax. I've come out and said that universities should start paying tax on foreign students. It's about time everyone in this country started paying their way. And the last and the best one is the old 28F of the public offer test of the 36 Act that says foreign banks don't have to pay tax on interest paid offshore. So if you want tax reform, bring it on.
Authorised G. Rennick, LNP Chermside.